If you've seen movies like Jaws, you may just have a healthy fear of going into the water, but sharks are not the only thing that make beaches dangerous. Join us as we have a look at some of the most dangerous beaches from around the world. Kauai Hawaii. You wouldn't have guessed that one of the world's most popular vacation spots that's considered paradise would also be one of the most dangerous beaches on the planet. For years, this has served as Hollywood's Vietnamese rainforest and the backdrop for your favorite Jurassic Park movies. But Kauai, nicknamed the Garden Isle, is also famous for its tropical rainforests and generally favorable weather, but has a dark secret that's taken 83 bodies in recent years. The water that surrounds the small Hawaiian island has a powerful rip current that's known to take unknowing swimmers out to sea to either be nibbled on by a shark or drowned by Davy Jones himself. Once pulled out by the current, the closest safe shore is just 6 miles away. And this is a distance that most Olympic swimmers and even Ironman triathletes would have trouble navigating. So, just in case you're planning a trip over to the lovely Hawaiian Islands, just stick to the margaritas on the shore instead of braving the dangerous waters. GANSBAA, South Africa. Now, you may be familiar with the name of this beach, as a video that went viral in the past few years showed a great white shark breaching a cage with the diver inside. South Africa is well known for not having the best beach security and maintenance. While some of the more affluent can afford places that are well kept and out of reach from our generously toothed friends, the financially less fortunate are subject to wading into shark-infested waters on the less maintained side of the coast. GANSBAA was actually named the Great White Shark Capital of the World because of the number of these monsters that are found swimming just a few miles offshore. It's believed that the sharks are attracted to seals that live near Geyser Rock, and the area has been nicknamed Shark Alley for obvious reasons. In recent years, 23 people have had their lives taken in shark attacks, but not to worry. Something good and also very bad has also been happening. There have been reports of an alarming number of great white sharks that wash up on the shore since the beginning of 2017. Marine biologists have even reported that there's been a significant decrease in the overall great white shark population in the past year. Up until recently, they weren't sure what was causing the death of the sharks, but as it turns out, the great white was no longer at the top of the food chain. Apparently, orcas and killer whales have been brutally attacking sharks in packs. Now, before you pass any judgment on the orcas, you should probably take a look at the extracurricular activities of the bottlenose dolphin, and you may rethink the movie Flipper. Kilauea, Hawaii. Once again, Hawaii makes our list, but once again, it's not for an abundance of sharks. As you may know, Hawaii is famous for a few things, including their volcanoes and their black sand beaches. But unknown to many, Mount Kilauea is still very much active. Since 1983, it has been continuously losing molten rock down into the beaches, and from time to time has even been known to erupt. While it might make the beaches a beautiful swirl of black and tan, you don't want to turn your back for too long, because you may just get hit with some hot lava. When the rock lava finally reaches the water by the coast, it can change your nice cool dip into a 110-degree cauldron in a mere matter of seconds. However, don't worry, this isn't something you'll have to keep an eye out for yourself. The native community is very familiar with the behavior of their fire mountain and know the protocols in order to keep people safe. It's also unlikely that your hotel would want a Yelp review from a boiling mad customer. FRASER Island, Australia. Well, you're in Australia, so you should probably expect to die anyway. Between all of the deadly bugs, along with the most poisonous snakes in the world, you could just take a trip to FRASER Island, because it may be a quicker route to the grave. FRASER Island is notorious for having some of the most dangerous beaches on the continent. The waters of the island are known for their strong rip currents and have taken many a surfer out to their death over the past few decades. In addition to this, wading out into the waters of FRASER Island might put you in the company of some of the world's most dangerous jellyfish and sharks. Oh, and we're not done yet. It's Australia after all, so the carnage could never be so simple. Just as dangerous as the water is, we make a joke about how the dingo might eat your baby, but that's because it's an actual possibility. Fraser Island is actually known for dingo attacks, specifically towards small children. Parents that have left their children just sitting a few feet away from them and turned their backs have had a dingo run up and snatch them away. Another ever-present threat, in addition to the dingo, is the saltwater crocodile, as well as Australia's smorgasbord of spiders. While we may love their accents, we really doubt that they are to die for. Northern Australia. The sphere of danger is so large in this part of Australia that it couldn't be isolated to a single beach, so we just choose to identify the entire territory. Specifically, we talk about the Northern Territory of Australia, whose waters are home to the infamous box jellyfish, otherwise known as the most venomous jellyfish that could kill you. These jellyfish are known to be almost completely transparent and travel in enormous packs through the surrounding waters. They can grow to be up to 11 inches wide, with as many as 60 tentacles, which can grow as long as 6 feet. And once a box jellyfish grabs a hold of you, it's practically over, because it's going to pump a lot of venom and toxins into you, which result in terrible pain. Then, once the venom begins working through your body, you're going to leak potassium, which could lead to cardiovascular failure in less than 5 minutes. Beaches of the Amazon. Once again, the radius of terror is too wide to be narrowed down to a single beach, so we have to simply name a continent. In this case, it's South America, and the beaches along the Amazon rainforest. As you may know, much of the Amazon rainforest is actually unexplored, and new species of animals are found there by the thousands every decade. Statistically though, at least a few of them are going to be a little bit hostile. The Amazonian waters are home to 2,500 different species of fish, and sharp-toothed red-belly piranhas are one of them. These little monsters can grow up to 14 inches long and travel in large packs for protection. But they are not the only little monsters lurking just beneath the sands off the coast. Peruvian coast guards often warn swimmers of anacondas and electric eels that are known to attack unsuspecting travelers. It's also advised that you not fall asleep on one of these beaches, because one of these snakes may slowly wrap itself around you and squeeze the life out. If this isn't enough to scare you off, we need to remind you of the numerous diseases that you may catch, which in and of itself should ward you out of the area. New Smyrna Beach in Florida. Let's take a visit to another beach, this time in the United States, that has been nicknamed the shark attack capital of the world. New Smyrna Beach is located in Volusia County and has the highest recorded number of shark attacks in the world according to the Guinness Book of World Records. Volusia County has multiple other beaches in it that do not trail far behind. Thus, there have been 238 recorded attacks at New Smyrna Beach. One of the reasons for the high rate of attacks could be because New Smyrna is south of an inlet, which is a prime feeding ground for sharks. It also doesn't help that New Smyrna is also one of the most popular beaches on the coast. And you would think that after 238 shark attacks, it might begin to lose a little bit of its appeal, but so far traffic has remained constant. One thing that the Guinness Book of World Records fails to mention in their record book is what they qualify as a shark attack. Oftentimes, these shark attacks are actually just aggressively playful nibbles from a baby shark, which is usually less than 2 feet long. If you were to take a trip over to one of the piers on New Smyrna, you'd see many of the fishermen almost red in frustration because they catch more baby sharks than they do actual fish. Cape Tribulation, Australia. We here at World 5 love to give credit where credit is due, and we would like to commend Cape Tribulation in Australia for not deceiving its potential parishioners with a flowery name and then surprising them with a Pandora's box of evils. Cape Tribulation lets you know right up front that it isn't here for a good time. So, what makes Cape Tribulation the least ideal vacation destination ever? Well, like many of Australia's inhabitants, it wants to kill you with its local flora and fauna. The waters are full of jellyfish, but fortunately they aren't nearly as deadly as the infamous box jelly. In addition to all of this, you also have to worry about venomous snakes lurking in the water, the sand, and the brush, and practically everywhere you walk. If you do manage to find a snake-free area, you'll want to watch your back for a couple of friendly crocodiles to walk by, getting a little bit of sunbathing in on the towel next to you. But these are creatures that you're probably already aware of from our previous videos on Australia. But we'll let you in on one of Australia's best-kept secret supervillains, the cassowary. For those unfamiliar with this hell kite, it's the third largest bird in the world behind the emu and the ostrich. All are in the same family of birds, so they all look incredibly similar. Except the cassowary has one glaring difference. It lacks the long neck of the other two. But what the cassowary lacks in esophageal length, it makes up for a downright ornery attitude. Even though the cassowary is considered to be endangered, it might be you who was actually in danger if you were to come across one. These tiny little monsters look like they belong in a Jurassic Park movie because of the giant fin on top of their head. The birds have been known to run up to 50 kilometers per hour through dense forests and have even killed people when they felt threatened. For some reason, the box jellyfish just sounds so much more appealing than the domestic abuse that this big blue bird may dish out. There are hundreds of inhospitable beaches out in the world, but few stand close to the ones on this list. While some may have sharks, some may have snakes, some may have anacondas and box jellyfish and dingoes, one thing that they all have is danger. Let us know some of your favorite dangerous beaches from around the world in the comments below. And thanks for watching. If you were lucky enough to catch a glimpse of this bizarre sea creature that washed up on an island in Indonesia, you may still be wondering what on earth you saw that day. It does look a lot like the star whale from Doctor Who, but its home planet was Earth and not outer space. This 50-foot-long creature was found in Hulong Beach in Seram Island by a 37-year-old local resident.